we're gonna meet in one of the rooms back here, so come on and follow me. And you're welcome to have a seat, it doesn't matter which one you have to sit in. And Erin, what I wanted to do to start out with is spend a few minutes just going over the forms. We're not gonna go over them in a huge amount of detail, but we'll hit some highlights.
Okay.
And once we've had a chance to do that, we'll talk a little bit about what counseling is and your experience with counseling. And talk also about some of the things that you want to use this time for. And then we'll close up with a few minutes left to talk about what you want to think about or work on between this session and the next one. So some of the highlights on here, I'm sure you had a chance to read some of it, but I want you to know that what we talk about is confidential. There are some limits to that confidentiality. The major one being if I think you're going to hurt yourself or somebody else. And also, I want you to know that I'm under supervision. So I'll be talking about our sessions with my coach and also my instructor. And then our sessions are half an hour, and we'll start at the same time and end at the same time each time we meet. Let's see, what else? If you have concerns about what things are, or how things are going in here, you can talk to my instructor. I think she was the one that got in touch with you to begin with. And I know you wrote some things down here, but I wanted to see what your experience has been, what you know about counseling.
Right. I saw a therapist when I was like 15, very briefly, but I thought it helped a lot. I just had a lot of things that I wanted to get off my chest, and then I did, and it was good. It was good.
You got some good help from that.
Yeah.
And so the framework that I use about counseling, the way that I think about what counseling is it's sort of like, you know, when you have a necklace or like earbuds that get all tangled.
Yeah.
The way that I see counseling is kind of having another perspective and maybe seeing the tangle a little bit differently, and maybe being able to say, oh, you know what, you can kind of, if you pull here, that might change.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So I don't know how that fits with your experience before.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what, I forgot to go over this form. This is about the consent to record. And you went ahead and signed that, but I want you to know that the recording is really to get feedback about me. Some people are a little bit self-conscious about that, but it's really about me getting feedback about my counseling skills. So you wrote a few things on here about the kinds of things that are going on for you. We have this time. Where do you want to start?
Well, I've been having some stress, just some general, the beginning of a new semester, and I have a new relationship, and I left a very long, old relationship, and where things were much more stable, and things are a little more unstable now, but better emotionally, better. I'm emotionally better, but there's much more outside world stress, kind of. I had a place to live, and now I'm kind of in between and looking for places, and it just, things have been coming all kind of at one time, but the emotions are okay.
So this is new, that you were in a relationship and that's ended, and since that's ended, things have kind of opened up, and a lot of things are open for you.
Right.
And you're starting a new relationship as well. And in the meantime, you're also not sure about living situation.
Right. Right. So it's a lot of, I'm much happier. Like, I'm in a much happier place. I feel more like myself, because I feel like I lost myself for a long time, and I feel like I'm back to my old self. But there's a lot of, it's a lot of just outside stress. Like, my laptop broke during finals these past finals, and I'm a bartender and I don't make a ton of money, and so it's just a lot of, and then I have to pay for, how am I gonna pay for an apartment, how am I gonna pay for books, how am I, you know, all that is starting to just kind of wear me down a little bit.
Yeah, and so when you started out saying that you're happier overall, I could see that in how, just from your face and how your body was too, and then as you started talking about each of the different things that are causing you stress, I could see how it's weighing on you.
Yeah, that's definitely how I feel, and that's a hard thing to reconcile, is that I'm emotionally, I feel so much better, but that at the same time I've got these other things that are separate from my emotions, really, almost. I know that sounds strange, but I'm very happy with my new relationship and with, you know, being in school. I love school, but it's just all those other pressures that feel like they have to be happening right now, and I have to get everything together right now, and it's just not coming together the way I want it to.
Well, from what you're saying, it strikes me that it's probably easier for you to cope with all these different things from a place of being happy in a relationship,
Right.
than it might have been, I'm kind of gathering, before you weren't so happy. And maybe you're just in a different place about having to deal with each of these things.
Yeah, I think they haven't been, I feel like I've let some things go by because I've been happier, I've been trying to have more fun and be more myself and do things for myself, and then all of a sudden all these things just come right in, and it's just, it's not making me unhappy, it just is making me feel a lot of pressure and I'm just not sure how to manage all of that. It's just all these things that I know I have to get done, and I can see them and they're right there, and I know they have to happen, but it's just, you know.
It wears on you.
Yeah, it's kind of just making me a little tired. It's making me, and the more pressure I feel, the more I want to push against it, the more I want to kind of reject it and say, I don't want to do this right now because I'm happy, because I don't want to. It's messing me up.
Don't interfere with my happiness.
Yeah, and it's messing me all up. But yeah, I'm just, you know, it's not just that stress. It's, you know, family stress and outside. It's just all. It feels like it's all outside stress that's all pushing in.
Well, you have a good sense of internal resourcefulness, happiness, and then this other pressure, and there's an implicit question that I'm hearing you ask, which is, how do I stay happy?
Yeah.
While also figuring out how to deal with all this stuff that is coming up for me.
Yeah, because it's not anything that's necessarily like gonna be detrimental to my overall happiness kind of thing, but it's more, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I want it to not be there. I just want that. I want to figure out a way that I can, you know, plan it all out and make it all, like, you know, figure out, where am I gonna live? What's my apartment? How do I get money for that apartment? How do I get money for all my, you know, to compensate for all my books and everything else that I need, all the other materials that I need for class, and I had to buy a laptop, so that set me back, and so it's just,
It's like it's all stacking up, and it's like, if we could identify this little pin that holds it together, then maybe we could get somewhere.
Right, I think, which is, it's just, I feel like I have to start somewhere, and I'm not sure what to start. Like, today I noticed that one of my tires is kind of going flat again, which I keep getting flat tires, which is driving me crazy. But, so I know and on the way to class I thought, well, okay, so I have to get a new tire, but I also have to get a video camera, and
and the apartment,
but you know, if I don't get the tire, I can't go to class, and if I, you know, and then if I go to class, I don't have the video camera, so then it's just, and it's so a lot of, I'm trying to figure out how to, like you said earlier, how to untangle it all.
Yeah.
So it's all mixed in.
It is kind of all mixed in there, and And we're running short on time today, so, sometimes what happens when you just kind of leave things there, you can get another perspective. So, I wanna shift gears,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna pull this out, cause this is how we're gonna close each session. We're gonna talk about then, it's a pretty simple form, it has, both our names on here, and then it says right here, these are some things to think about or work on until my next session.
Okay.
And this is actually gonna come from you.
Okay.
So as you think about what we've talked about, I'm wondering what comes to you about something that you could think about or work on between now and the next time we meet.
I think I need to, I know that I have an account, like an account that I can access with money in it, and I know I just need to pull that money out, go ahead and do that, and that's a starting point, because then I need to get that together, and then and then I guess the next most immediate thing is, finding an apartment, you know, and just figuring out, and at least just finding a permanent living situation, I think would make me feel a lot better about everything else.
Okay. I realize I do something automatically that, I'm gonna check in with you about, cause you said, I just need to, and you listed two big things. And I automatically sort of scale things back to think about doing something before you actually do it.
Yeah.
And that's what I wrote down. I wrote down, consider pulling money from one account, and I wrote down, begin to look, as opposed to just sort of jumping into it. Is that?
Yeah, that makes sense. That's another good perspective to look at it from.
Okay. So the next time we meet, we'll meet at the same time, next Thursday, and I'll again meet you out there, cause we'll probably change rooms each time we meet. You get a copy of this, and I get a copy, so we're on too.
Thanks.
And I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye, I'll walk out with you.
Okay.